Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing a movie that recently came out by two Australian directors. A prior movie before this called Talk to Me. The movie I'm going to be reviewing today is called Bring Her Back. This movie was a very interesting and a very thrilling ride to me. It was, you could say horror, but I think it had elements of drama as well and thriller as well. The directors who made this film, with their previous movie, they were more, they try to be a little more topical. They try to be talking about the youth and how the youth experiences things. It was more about, I think in a way, kind of drug addiction and how drugs and drug abuse can affect you, but done through a horror angle. This movie was more about loss and how loss affects families and how people deal with loss. It was very interesting in the sense that the main character, I think, was the villain of the story, you could say. You really feel for the villain in a way. It's played by the wonderful Sally Hawkins. She was in Shape of Water. She really brought a lot of depth and nuance to her character. The children in the film were also they performed very well, did a very good job in my opinion. The final act was the most intense part of the film. In the first two halves, it was kind of slow. The first half is the build up, but it doesn't really give you the thrills that you expect from these two directors, considering their previous outing. This film is a little more close-knit, a little tighter. I don't think there was a lot of budget from what I could tell, but they really tried to push as much as they can with what they had. And I thought that was really wonderful. There are certain scenes that are horrifying. There is elements of that grossness and that weirdness that they're shown in their previous ventures. And it kind of builds upon that. It really adds a lot of flavor and intensity to the film. I think in general, the film is kind of weirdly paced. In the beginning, it's kind of slow. In the middle, it kind of picks up. But then again, it leaves you hanging a little bit right until the very end. So I felt the payoff was not as fulfilling as I wanted to be. In films like these, I wish the payoff was a little more. Other than that, the direction was very competent. The actors did a good job with what they had and the material they had. I just wish some scenes were, even more fleshed out. Some parts and, the mysteries of certain characters, I wish they were told a little better so that we could understand the reasoning behind what they're doing. Some things are left unanswered, which is fine. But there are some key elements I felt that were also left unanswered. And I wish I had known more about that. But overall, I think it was a good film, a competent film, and I can't wait to see what these two directors do next. And this film coming from Australia is very different. When I was growing up, the only Australian director I was exposed to was the man who made the Mad Max franchise. Those films are, of course, fantastic. I really like almost all of the films in that franchise. So to see these new Australian directors come in and show a different genre and a different kind of filmmaking was really interesting to me. And I can't wait to see what they do next. My final review for this film would be a 3 out of 5. It's a good film. There are some gross scenes, horrifying scenes, but overall you can get through it, I think, if you have seen horror movies like this before. And there are some tropes that have been done before, in certain other movies. I don't want to spoil it, but you do see certain tropes. You can make out that, okay, I've seen something like this before if you are a horror aficionado. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.